We at the WealthWise channel want to ask you a direct question, one that perhaps no one has ever asked you before, but that could change your financial life forever. Why is it that even when you work hard, pay your bills on time, and live honestly, money still never seems to be enough? Why do so many people live paycheck to paycheck while others, who don't appear to have done anything extraordinary, quietly build wealth, live debt-free, and grow financially year after year? The answer lies in a secret that wealthy Americans know very well, but one that is never taught in school. No one talks about it at work, not even in conversations between friends. It's a silent secret, hidden behind ordinary routines. A secret that separates those who just survive from those who actually thrive. But today, here on WealthWise, we're going to uncover this secret in detail. And not just that, we'll show you exactly how to apply it, even if you're starting from zero, even if you're in debt or earning very little. It is absolutely possible to change your financial situation with knowledge and strategy. And in this video, you'll learn how to do just that, step by step. So take a moment now to subscribe to the WealthWise channel, hit the like button, and share this video with someone you care about. What we're about to reveal could change a lot of lives, and maybe yours more than you think. And if you stay until the end, we're going to show you a completely new way to view money, something that will make you rethink everything you've ever learned about building wealth in America. Let's get straight to the point. There's a deeply rooted belief in American society and among many immigrants that the only way to get rich is by earning a lot of money. That only people with high salaries, top positions, or family inheritance ever become financially free. But that idea, while it may sound logical at first, is completely false, and the data proves it. Recent studies by Fidelity and reports from the US Census Bureau show that a significant percentage of millionaires in the US never earned high salaries. Most of them built their wealth on what would be considered middle-class incomes, less than $80,000 per year. So if it wasn't through massive salaries, how did they do it? They discovered something almost no one realizes, that money should not be treated as a reward, but as a tool. While most people see their paycheck as something to spend, to live, to shop, to fulfill immediate desires, the wealthy see money as something to multiply. They're not chasing more work, they're chasing assets. And that S, where the first key insight of this video comes in, the difference between assets and liabilities. Most people never truly understand this difference, and as a result, they stay stuck in a cycle of financial struggle. The wealthy, on the other hand, make every decision based on this distinction. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. It's that simple. And what do you think most people buy when they get paid? Exactly, liabilities. Brand new financed cars, expensive clothes bought on installment plans, vacations paid with high-interest credit cards. It all seems like comfort, but in reality, it's just financial weight. The wealthy, however, use their income to buy assets. They invest in dividend-paying stocks. They purchase rental properties. They acquire shares in small businesses that operate without their constant involvement. Or they invest in funds that grow with the market. While the middle class chases immediate comfort, the wealthy buy future freedom. There's a famous quote attributed to Robert Kiyosaki, author of the bestseller Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that sums this up perfectly. The poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. And the vast majority of people have never truly understood what that means. When you start to view money as an employee, not as a prize, everything changes. Every dollar must work for you. And that means it needs to be placed somewhere it can generate returns. The problem is, most people don't see it that way, because the system doesn't want them to. And yes, that's intentional. From a young age, we are conditioned to think like consumers. Advertising, easy credit, social media. It's all designed to push us to spend. We're trained to seek external validation through what we buy. But no one trains you to invest. No one teaches you how to protect your money, because if you knew, you'd stop depending on the system. And that's why this video is so important, because right now, you're getting access to something you were never told. And no, it's not a magic formula or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a shift in mindset that, when applied consistently, can transform any financial situation, even the most difficult one. And maybe you're wondering, if this is so powerful, why doesn't anyone talk about it? The answer is simple, because it doesn't serve the system for you to know. People who are dependent on jobs, drowning in debt, paying everything on credit, and living from one bill to the next, are the ones who fuel the consumer economy. They keep banks, big retailers, and lenders profitable. The wealthy don't live like that. They live as investors. Even with average incomes, they build wealth. Even with limited time, they multiply resources. They don't have superpowers. They have knowledge and strategy. And from this point forward, so will you. In the next part, we're going to break down exactly how this system works. We'll walk you through practical examples of how ordinary people with limited income can start building wealth by applying the same principles that American millionaires use every day. Get ready to take notes, because what comes next could easily be part of a paid course. But here on WealthWise, you're getting it clear, direct, and completely free. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. But don't stop now. What's coming next is even more eye-opening. We believe that knowledge only has real value when it's applied. That's why now is the time to turn everything you learned in part 1 into real, actionable steps. We're about to show you exactly how wealthy Americans structure their finances, and how you can apply the same principles even if your reality looks completely different. Let us start with a hard truth. Most people spend more time planning their vacations than planning their financial life, and that's the first mistake. The wealthy, before making any major financial move, build what we call a wealth defense structure. It's like an invisible financial shield that protects their assets from emergencies, debt traps, and periods of scarcity. So what is this structure? It starts with something simple but often ignored, an emergency fund. Most people live on the edge. Any unexpected expense turns into debt. The wealthy, on the other hand, build a safety cushion. It's not a luxury, it's strategic survival. The rule here is simple. Set aside 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses in a place that's easy to access but still earns some return. A high-yield savings account, which is widely available in the US, is a great first step. Once this foundation is in place, comes the second move, automating asset building. The wealthy don't invest what's left over. They invest before they spend. It's a reversed process. As soon as income hits their account, a portion goes straight into investments. No thinking, no relying on willpower. This is done through automation. Platforms like Fidelity, Vanguard, or even Robinhood allow you to schedule weekly or monthly contributions into ETFs, index funds, or specific stocks. This removes emotion from the equation and creates consistency. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what exactly should I invest in? Let us walk you through the very same asset types favored by American millionaires. And the best part, they're not complicated, they're accessible. And over time, they become real passive income machines. First, we have ETFs, funds that track the performance of major indexes like the S&P 500. One of the most popular is VOO by Vanguard. When you buy a share of this fund, you're instantly investing in companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and other giants with a single transaction. It's built-in diversification, low cost, and outstanding long-term performance. Next are REITs, real estate investment trusts. These let you invest in real estate without buying physical property. With small amounts, you can own a piece of malls, hospitals, office buildings, and logistics centers, and receive monthly dividend payments consistently. It's real passive income without the headache. And of course, we have dividend stocks, shares of companies that pay part of their profits to shareholders. Companies like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble have paid dividends for decades, even during economic downturns. Over time, this creates a secondary income stream that can eventually cover your bills, and later, buy your freedom. Now let's go even further. Many millionaires also build wealth through automated small businesses. That doesn't mean opening a physical store with high overhead. It means creating digital income streams, like online products, courses, e-commerce stores connected to automated delivery systems, or even channels like this one. Yes, YouTube channels. When well structured, these become digital assets that generate revenue for years. This is what we call digital leverage, multiplying income through technology. So what stops most people from doing the same? Fear, insecurity, lack of clarity. That's why the wealthy do something that seems simple, but few actually follow. They eliminate mental noise. They avoid distractions. They read more. They invest in education. They hire mentors. They buy courses, and not because they're naive, but because they know the greatest investment is in themselves. According to Thomas J. Stanley, author of The Millionaire Next Door, the most common millionaire in America isn't a CEO, NFL athlete, or trust fund heir. It's a disciplined small business owner who lives below their means, invests consistently, and avoids bad debt. The book shows that true millionaires are quiet, strategic, and often invisible in the crowd. Which leads us to another hard truth. Most people want to look rich, while the wealthy prefer to look normal. While some are financing luxury cars to impress others, millionaires are driving used cars and investing the difference. While some drop $3,000 on a new phone, others use a basic model and buy stocks with what's left over. And the most interesting part, this doesn't happen by accident. The wealthy are intentional with every dollar, and that's not being cheap. It's being aware, because they know financial freedom doesn't come from how much you make, but from what you do with what you make. If you've understood this so far, your mindset is already shifting. You're starting to trade the desire to consume for the desire to build. And that's rare, that's powerful, that places you in a different category. The truth is, the wealthy are playing a completely different game, right in front of our eyes, but you won't see this on TV commercials. You won't hear it during lunch breaks at work, because the system doesn't want you to wake up. But now you're waking up, and at this point in the journey, many people give up, because they realize this path isn't easy. But here at WealthWise, we tell you the path is simple, not easy, but simple. And with consistency, it works. In the next part of this video, we're going to reveal the complete roadmap to building financial freedom. We'll show you how to get out of debt, protect your assets, and build a 5-year plan that can forever change your relationship with money. Even if you live in the US, even if you earn very little, even if you're starting from absolute zero. If this makes sense to you, stick with us. What comes next may be the most important part of the video. We want you to do something powerful right now. Close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine what your life would look like if, starting today, money was no longer a problem. Imagine waking up each day knowing your rent is paid, your bills are covered, and money keeps flowing into your account without having to work 60 hours a week. Imagine being able to say no to a toxic boss, yes to a trip you've been postponing for years, or simply choosing to spend more time with the people you love, because money no longer controls your time. That reality isn't some far-off dream. It's a real plan, and it begins with a decision to step off the hamster wheel. Everything we've shown you so far is the solid foundation to make that decision possible. And now we'll walk you through a plan that, if followed with focus and consistency, could completely transform your financial future over the next 5 years. Step 1 is to cut the waste. Money that leaves without returning needs to go. Do a deep audit of your expenses and categorize everything as essential, useful, or disposable. You'll be shocked at how many hidden liabilities are buried in small habits. That daily coffee run, that subscription you never use, the impulse purchases during holidays, all of it adds up to a huge sum over time. Cut with discipline and redirect it into assets. Step 2 is to clear the debt path. Debt is the opposite of freedom. It's a commitment to your past that blocks your future. If you're dealing with credit card debt, personal loans, or high-interest financing, build an attack plan. Start with the highest interest debt while making minimum payments on the rest. With each one you pay off, roll that amount into the next. It's the well-known snowball effect, and it works with mathematical precision. Once your financial ground is cleared, it's time to plant your assets. Pick 2 or 3 strong paths and stick with them. A good ETF like VOO or SPY, a REIT that pays monthly dividends, and one solid dividend stock is more than enough to start. Invest every single week, no exceptions, even if it's just $20, $30, or $50. The amount doesn't matter, the habit does. The discipline of investing is more powerful than any promise of fast returns. And if you have extra energy, add a digital asset. An online product, a blog, an automated e-commerce store, or a YouTube channel like this one. Digital assets are the new frontier of financial freedom. They work 24/7, even while you sleep. The wealthy already know this. Now it's your turn. Step 4, protect your growth. There's no point investing if you lose it all to fees, fines, or poor decisions. Use no-fee accounts. Take advantage of the tax benefits offered by U.S. investments. Learn about Roth IRAs, 401ks, and other legal tools that reduce your tax burden and increase your net return. These tools are available to any U.S. citizen or legal resident, but very few people know. Fewer study, even fewer apply. That's why so few actually build wealth. 5th and final step, mindset. No financial strategy survives a self-sabotaging mind. You need to see yourself as a builder, not a survivor. You're not here to work until you die or to settle for the bare minimum. You're here to build a legacy, and legacy isn't just money. It's example, it's freedom. It's showing your kids there is another way, and it all starts with you. Maybe no one has believed in you until now. Maybe you come from a background where talking about money was taboo, sinful, or just out of reach. But here at WealthWise, we believe in you. We believe in you because we've seen hundreds of stories of ordinary people who changed everything through knowledge and courage. People just like you, who started from nothing, educated themselves, took action, and now live a reality they once thought was impossible. And if you've made it this far, that says a lot about you. It tells us you're hungry for change, that you don't want to just survive, you want to thrive. And we're here to walk with you, so subscribe right now to the WealthWise channel, because our next videos are a direct continuation of this one. We'll show you how to eliminate debt fast, how to build a crisis-proof investment portfolio, and how to turn knowledge into income, even if you're starting with zero capital. If you found value in this content, hit the like button right now. That tells YouTube this topic matters and helps us spread this message to more people like you, people who want to break the cycle of scarcity. Leave a comment below that says, "Now I know the secret." That way I'll know you stayed until the very end, and I'll personally reply to the most engaged comments. And before you leave, watch the 2 videos that are about to appear on your screen. One will show you how to get out of debt in the US with strategy. The other reveals how immigrants are building passive income, even on a low income. Watch both. They are the natural continuation of what you've just learned here. Don't let this knowledge fade into the background. The revolution begins when application begins. We are WealthWise, And here you learn to use money the way the rich do, because financial wisdom is freedom.